to this day, I'm like, why are people still cutting up on airplanes about the mask? First of all, you know you're going viral because someone's recording. But why are
Exactly.
you acting surprised that
People want
you
attention.
got to wear your mask? Why did you even go to the airport if you didn't want to wear the mask? You know that's what they're doing. So
Right.
either go with the flow, suffer through it for a little bit, or don't go.
I wonder if
But
they
now
have
you're
this.
getting arrested. Now you're on a no-fly list. Now you've wasted your money. You get no refunds. What did you gain by acting an ass on the plane?
Do you think they have this conversation beforehand? Do you think they're walking around like, huh, they better not say nothing about this mask because you think you think they have
I think some of them do. Yeah, because some of them even pull out their phones and start recording as if they're trying to make a point.
I mean, it's like when you have that kind of power in general. I mean, I don't know. As a minority group, we never had that kind of. I'm not. I mean, first of all, I'm not a jerk like that, but I just don't understand that mindset
but
where
we in general are not that brazen. That's just not who we are.
And then and we already have the stress on us. That shield, that blanket of stress. See, they don't have that. So they do. That's why they go on Mount Everest and and go in a cage with the lions because
they gotta do skydiving and we gotta go play with alligators and shit because they need some adventure. Our adventure is walking out the fucking house, and now you don't even have to leave your house. They can shoot you in your bed. So
exactly.
Yeah, we're not thrill seekers because it's a thriller. We made it home.
I mean, can you imagine that poor guy who was with Breonna Taylor? Can you imagine how he feels? He can't even lay in his bed in a sound sleep.
I'm sure he's got PTSD.
Oh God! I mean,
and just being black in general, I think we all walk around with some form of it. Some form of PTSD.
And then they put him in jail too.
They arrested him, but they had to drop all those charges.
But there was a period of time. There was a period of time that they weren't. They
tried to make it stick because they were trying to cover their own asses. And the only officer that was charged with anything was the shots that didn't hit Breonna. The shots that went into the neighbor's apartment because, oh my God, you could have hurt somebody else. But no charges for the bullets that did kill the woman in her bed.
I just don't understand how people deal with that kind of injustice. Just like that's
part of the trauma. That's part of the trauma that we all go through. When the stress and anxiety, depression, all this is caused by the daily racism that we face. I think we face even more of those same symptoms based on what goes on with other people. So when we see all that stuff on the news, that's traumatizing to us and over and over again because we know that could have just as easily have been us.
I mean, especially having sons. I mean, Breonna Taylor, of course, was a woman, and I have a daughter, and she's away, and God only, you never know. But having a son, especially, because
I don't have nothing but boys.
Exactly. I just cannot imagine just.
Let me tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. Even in a crisis, I can keep a clear head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was in Kentucky visiting my in-laws. This is when Tyler stayed there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was visiting Tyler. And I'm sorry, I try not to say my kids' names but online, but whatever. Okay, so then Brendan calls me and tells me he can't get in touch with my husband nor my oldest. And now, this is my oldest first time. This was his first week driving unaccompanied. So I was already a nervous wreck because he could be a little skittish behind the wheel. So I'm already a little nervous about that. Now you can't get in touch with either one of them. So, I start calling. I'm getting the same thing. I'm getting thrown in the voicemail. Like both of their phones are off. And for my husband, that wasn't that big of a surprise because he doesn't keep up on whether or not he's got 2% or 98% on his phone. He just doesn't care. Okay, so but for my son, that was weird.
Okay.
So I said he called St. Collins. So I'm like, okay, if I don't hear from them in the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna hit the road and head back because Brendan was really getting nervous whatever. So I'm online hoping, and this is the sad part, hoping that it was a car accident versus a run-in with the cops. So I'm online literally searching for officer-involved shootings in Charlotte.
So
and,
sad.
I'm like, please just let him be in the hospital. Please don't let him having to be pulled over by a cop. Please say he wasn't pulled over by a cop. That's what I'm fearing. So that built my anxiety, and I was finally like, fuck it, I'm getting on the road. And just before I'm packing myself, my father-in-law was like, you haven't had any sleep, you don't need to be getting on that road. I'm like, I promise you, I'm not gonna fall asleep tonight.
Right.
So I'm about to get on this road. So I literally got my stuff together, and then my son calls me. And I first started crying immediately as soon as I saw his number pop up and heard his voice. Because even when I saw the number, I wasn't sure it was him. Could have been the police. So I started crying, and then as like 5 seconds after I started crying, I got angry. Where the fuck have you been? Why have you been?
Boy, girl, what?
And he was in some type of seminar or whatever. And so he had cut his phone off. Now, his dad was with him. Because it was way across town, he had asked his dad to follow him out there because, he hadn't driven that far by himself yet. So he had asked his dad to follow him out there, and and his phone was dead because, of course, he didn't charge it. And so that's why I couldn't get in touch with either one of them, but they were now on their way home. But when I tell you, I cussed. I was hot.
And how long you had to wait? You said 30 minutes?
No, it was by the time he called, from the beginning to the end, it was about an hour or so.
You was in limbo for an hour.
I was in limbo for an hour. I was online. I called maybe 20 times, hoping somebody is charging their phone and finally it'll kick in. That didn't happen. And then I just started doing the online searches. When I couldn't find anything, I don't know if I should feel relieved or if I just need to wait longer for it to show up online, and I just can't find anything. I'm like on WSOCTV.com. I'm on WBTV.com. I'm on every website trying to find something. I'm Googling, and then I finally gave up, and I put my stuff, I packed my bag, and, I got the call. But it was traumatizing.
Yes.
Just, that worry. I worry about the youngest because he has a sporty car. I didn't want him to get the Audi because I'm like, that's going to draw too much attention. They're going to pull you over. You're going to get pulled over. That's my thought. It doesn't matter if you're following the law. All you need is a taillight to be out and you don't know it's out, and they pull you over, and they find some reason to think you reach for something. And you definitely have to sit and go over those rules of where to keep their hands at all times, and not to reach for anything, to speak respectfully no matter what that cop says to you. Do not lose your cool, because your job is to come home. That is traumatizing to have that conversation. It's traumatizing because you don't want to make them too afraid, but you don't want to not prepare them at the same time. It is stressful, and it causes anxiety on both ends. How are they supposed to relax? How are they supposed to trust the law? Now, me personally, I haven't really had bad run-ins with the law. I've been pulled over plenty of times.